don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. All right. Gangubai, whatever the other second word is. Yeah, but apparently this movie is based off a book, which is based off stories about a real character. Apparently they can't say it's true, and they have to say it's fictional or not completely true. I think that's how it started out. It always throws me in these historical, non-historical films when they do something like that, because I'm confused as to whether it's real or not. So it's basically like I've said before, I believe the only reason prostitution is there is because there are men and women willing to pay for it. So I don't have anything against really the prostitutes. It's more of the pimps and in India it seems like the people who sold them off, and the men who go there to purchase it. Those are the real issues. So that's just it. So it basically starts off with this girl who's sold off and crying, and then they call in Gangubai, and then Gangubai basically tells this little girl her story. And she was not kidnapped. She was swayed away by the influence of a man. Someone confessed to love her. She was naive enough to basically fall for him. He had asked her to take all her mother's jewelry to get into the movie industry, to just buy her way in, and she willingly went for it. And then he sold her off for 1,000 rupees. I think that's it. I think that's the term. Yeah. And left, abandoning her there, taking the family jewelry and everything. Well, except the keys, I guess. Yeah. Had taken it all. Yeah. It was just like so devastating. And then she basically committed to ruling that territory. So it shows little glimpses of her life, because after she finished telling the story, she was at odds with another matron of a brothel. So I was thinking, okay, that matron's going to be a bad guy. Then it finds out she's up for election. So I'm like, okay, maybe the politician she's against is the bad guy, or bad woman. So I'm just like, maybe there's something going on there that I'm missing. There's got to be something there. And it was just basically a history piece telling us the events of this woman's life. Of course, it's obvious that they made some things fictitious, because there are some people that's just like, maybe she slept with them to get to the top, because there were little incidences that reminded me of Evita. And I'm like, yeah, this is someone who could have slept their way to the top easily, and most likely did. As soon as they got just a modicum of power, they just continued to get more power. And I mean, she used what she had to her advantage. I mean, there's politicians in the US who have gotten there via that way. There's one, I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, it's just, it's what people do. And it was interesting to watch, because Razubai, the one she was competing against, I was thinking that was going to be a real villain, but it wasn't. It was just like, as soon as she won, she won. There was no retaliation, no nothing, even like the other mafia boss. So when it ended, it was basically talking about how this woman was considered a mafia queen, she was either the mafia queen, or she was the mother of the brothels, or she was a sister to all women, and it's just interesting, because I was thinking I was going to watch like a film which had a villain throughout, but no, it was just the story of this woman's life. And it was very difficult, because I was thinking, okay, they're going to show real pictures at the very end, but they didn't, because if they did, then this movie would be connected to this person that the book is based off of, which I guess they were trying to avoid, even though it's based off a real person. So that's the one thing that throws me. If it's based off a real thing, I guess it would have added heat on other people, because apparently the prime minister that she had spoken to had suffered from a certain disease that affects people who visit, who do certain things in a wide variety. Yeah, so it's just like it could incriminate a lot of people. So it's just they probably just left little things out to avoid heat because there are still people who, yeah, I don't know. I can't say for certain. I'm speculating here. Yeah, but oh, my voice just needs to come back. I'm sorry, y'all. But Gangubai, I enjoyed it, but it isn't one of those films that you watch to basically go to see a villain. Because honestly, there's something about having a villain that is helpful. It's actually fascinating to see a bit of the history of the brothel territory and everything in India, how she tried to legalize prostitution. And honestly, it would have made more sense in the end if it was legalized. If things, it would avoid the selling of women. Well, not really, I don't think it'll ever avoid that. But it's just like certain things, because honestly, when it started out that way, when she told her story, I was immediately disgusted because I was like, this stuff happens? This is a thing? But then I think about it, just like, yeah, I mean, I'm so jaded. I mean, I remember walking through San Francisco when I lived there, and I'd walk past an area which I knew was a district for certain things. I didn't notice anything really, but it was just like, you just instinctively know. Yeah, it's just like, so things happen everywhere, but it's just seeing the actual selling of a human, it just disgusted me. It absolutely disgusted me, and I'm like, this is just wrong. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it was an enjoyable movie to watch, even though it's slow because there is no real stakes involved in this film. It's just the story of someone's life, and that's it. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, and honestly, my voice is leaving me. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Doodles!